I'm I'm growing increasingly concerned about the current younger generation, especially those that were impacted while they were in high school or college during the pandemic. A lot of young adults that I work with have not really had the opportunity to engage with one another like previous generations. Having a child who just recently graduated from college, I'm wary because in my experience, along with most people's experiences, when you start working at a job, you meet people in a new city, you find a community. But it's harder to do that when there's more and more people working from home, working remotely. There's not as much of an opportunity to create a sense of social connection. And the past several years, people have been increasingly lonely and not engaging with one another. So a lot of them don't have the temperamental maturity or the confidence to be able to engage with the world as they once did. It's as though there's an institution that is crumbling of sorts. I'm relieved that my child is working in an office with other young people, and they're very fortunate for that. But other people aren't as fortunate. The other piece that concerns me is that different people as adults live with their parents for different reasons. There's no judgment on my part for that. But it's becoming more and more commonplace because it's an issue of complacency. And many young adults, because of what they struggled through college, even before the pandemic, are not individuating enough. And in many cases, the 20s are supposed to be a decade in which we're discovering who we are and how we navigate around the world. But in many respects, the 20s are turning into some of the most stressful periods and frankly the most isolating, experiences that these young people have had. And in my position, we need to make more of an effort as adults to model behavior to our children, to the younger generation, of the importance of community. When young people leave institutions such as high school or college, they're thrown into the world. And the institutions that were created for us created a sense of stability and predictability. Those institutions are gone. And in many cases, we have to leave the familiarity of our homes and start our own lives. A working environment, even if it isn't necessarily the ideal job, in many respects, it gives reason for people to get up in the morning and go somewhere, to feel a sense of camaraderie with people their own age. I was very blessed that upon graduating from college, I immediately started working in boarding schools for children with special needs. And that was a rewarding experience, but I would not have been able to enjoy it or have grown from it as much as I did had I not been around people my own age, not all of whom, but most of whom were in the same boat that I was, scared, starting on their own, trying to figure out how to be an adult.